Hi, welcome to the Women Money Business Podcast. I'm Pretty Basra, and today I've got a guest speaker on with me. It's Amy Beckett. I'm really excited to have Amy on. She is a travel business coach. Sorry, I'm complicating that there, Amy. So would you like to just tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, travel, business, coaching, all in one, and just who are you? What do you do?
Yeah, thank you so much for the introduction, Pretty. So, yeah, I am a travel business coach and mentor. I help other people basically start their own travel business to travel more themselves or be a travel agent, or also mentor and coach other people to have a travel business. And that's whether they want it part-time, full-time, flexibly alongside kids, other commitments, etc. So that is me.
And then, so if you don't mind me asking then, Amy, how did you get into that? Because I know that that's not what you've always done, is it? You've had a background in healthcare, am I right in thinking?
Yeah, correct. So my career for, oh my goodness, how many years? Maybe 12 years plus was medical device sales.
Okay.
Most recently within the cardiology sector. So I would sell to consultant cardiologists. Basically, they were my customers, and I would support the interventional cardiology procedures. I'd actually be in the procedures day to day in different hospitals all
Wow.
around the north. So that was like my passion at the time. And I found out about this incredible travel business when literally someone presented it to me on social media. I mean, isn't that the power of social media these days? Instagram,
Absolutely.
to be
Absolutely.
precise. And I basically found out via this incredible opportunity, or this incredible individual, I should say, that's completely changed my life, that I could make money from something that I was really passionate about. So my second passion alongside the medical role was travel. I worked really hard to be able to afford really nice holidays. And when I found that I could have a vehicle to enable me to travel more frequently and more luxuriously, I said to this lady that introduced it to me, wow, okay, we're onto something here. Like, this sounds like a bit of me. Yes, please tell me more.
Mhm.
And for someone that didn't have any business experience at all 4.5 years ago when this got presented to me, and I was not a confident person then, I really lacked belief in my own abilities. When she kind of mentioned it to me, although I was really excited to benefit for my own travel, I didn't see it being the massive, I call it massive, it's massive compared to what I thought it was going to be 4.5 years ago, the massive business that it is right now.
Okay. And so what was the point where, because I know you've mentioned that it was presented to you online on Instagram, and
Yeah.
what why did it, and I know that the travel side of it appeals to you, but what made you make that decision where you thought, do you know what, I'm not going to do sort of cardiology device equipment sales. I'm going to just pivot and go into travel. Was there a time, like, did you just go cold turkey and were like, you know what, guys, handing my notice in, off, I'm going on holiday and making money? Or was it like a gradual process?
Yeah, it was so gradual. I mean, people thought I was crazy. I started the travel business during the COVID pandemic. Like, people couldn't even leave their homes, let alone get on a plane. So it was crazy to some, but I had a longer term vision. So what I knew was that I wasn't willing to sacrifice my very well paid job. My income was not going to go anywhere. I needed that income to kind of sustain the lifestyle that I had. So what I did, pretty like, alongside that long hour demanding job that would often have me on the road at 6 a.m. not getting back until late, in pockets of time I built up the travel business alongside it. And that is advice I would give so many other business owners. If you've got to pay your bills, so
Yeah.
start your business if you can alongside a secure income stream. So I literally built it up, and I built it up until it became a 6-figure income. And then I handed my notice in at work, and I was like, okay, the dream that I had planted in my heart years and years and years ago can now become a reality. I had the high paid job that I loved, that I was passionate about in the medical field, but I was never going to have time freedom. So I have it all now. I've got the money coming in, I've got the time freedom, and I can work from anywhere in the world and literally make money from the beach now. So I definitely wanted to build it up and not have to sacrifice income, and that's when I left the job.
And in terms of, we mentioned that you obviously were having a career really high paid, but you were doing the side hustle basically, effectively, until it became the main hustle, and then life changed. What
Yeah.
would how, so for example, what if there was somebody had a family and they felt like, you know what, I haven't got time? Because I think what I come across often in sort of just in business or entrepreneurship is when you speak to certain people, they'll be like, I don't think I've got the time to do that. I haven't got time to do things on the side. What are
Yeah.
your views on that?
I honestly and genuinely believe and know that anyone has got time for what they choose to make time for.
Mhm.
And the reason that I can say that so confidently is because within my business, I've seen mums, like mums with multiple children, that work high pressure jobs, even studying degrees, like at the same time, make their side hustle, their side business, their online business a success, because we all choose what we prioritize. And I think if anyone looked at their day and broke down their day, there would be things within their day that they could sacrifice. And I think you'll probably understand this, pretty, like you have to make sacrifices if you want to give yourself more time in the future. So of course, initially you're going to have less time to give yourself more time in the future. Or that's what I've got, because I'm really fortunate that my business pays passive or residual income, some people know it as. So it continues to pay me even if I stop working it. So I knew that, despite not having kids, but I know that the people that I work with that have kids, they know that they have to sacrifice some things right now whilst they're building their business. But then they know that in the end, it gives them more time because the money's still going to be coming in and they can leave the job. And they're going to have more time at some point, or they've already created that already. And that's the evidence I've seen.
And I think that's probably one of the myths that I wanted to dispel within the travel industry, because obviously I know that you got a really good following on Instagram, and people can see sort of what you do and how you live your life on Instagram, and people might look and think, well, you know what, you're single, you're not single, sorry, you've got no children. I mean, you might be single, I don't know. But like, you've not got children, so she's got the time to do it. And I think and I just wanted to sort of, I suppose, tease that out to sort of understand that I'm pretty sure you've got mums, that I've got like single mums and got children, but it's like you say, it's where you want to invest your time. For that investment, what are you going to get back? And there is going to be a little bit of a struggle initially, because that's part of the process, but then you've got to look at that long goal. But then I think sometimes people think, well, if I haven't made £5,000 in 2 days doing my travel business, it doesn't work. It's not how it works, is it?
Yeah, exactly. And you've hit the nail on the head there. Like, no business is a get rich quick scheme unless you're very fortunate. I can't think of any, but there might be some out there. But most businesses, you're not going to get rich overnight. But again, with residual income, it's a stay rich forever scheme, and that's what I love about my opportunity. And I thought along similar lines though 4.5 years ago, Pretty, when I started to share this business with other
Mhm.
people, and I wasn't even asking mums in my network about this. Mainly because they didn't travel. I wasn't seeing it from a time thing, but mainly because they weren't traveling, because they had young kids and they
Yeah.
like were looking after them at home. But actually now I've got a massive team of travel business owners that are mums, mainly because they want to replace full-time income. Some people start this on maternity leave. They don't want to go back to work. They want to see their kids growing up.
Mm.
And they want to create a willable income for their kids as well, which is what our travel business gives us. It not only enables ordinary people like me and those mums to give their family extraordinary lives, but it enables their family to be financially protected for the rest of their lives as well in the future, because of the willable element. So now I've learned so much. I've gone on this massive mindset and personal development journey, and I can see how it benefits all different kinds of people. And I've actually got like a massive team of twin mums. Like, who would think that a twin mum had time? But it's because one of my dear friends was a twin mum, and she saw me posting about this on social media. She's a lady that I didn't ask about it because she didn't travel. She
Yeah.
asked me about this opportunity, and she was like, Amy, this is the business that could get me out of the job, so I can, because it was really important to her to stay at home with her twins and watch them grow up. And that's exactly what she's done. And she's created that willable income, and she's got a full-time flexible income from home, but working at part-time hours alongside the kids.
And I think like travel is one of those things that I'm pretty sure everybody wants to travel, but it's just sometimes you're restricted financially or time wise or whatever sort of other circumstances. But usually it's those two like money and time, isn't it? So, in terms of your journey, then, and I know you've gone from like a really sort of well paid job to then an even better paid job with more. Not even a job, is it really? It's like a lifestyle, I suppose. And you've got that time. And was that journey sort of without any challenges? Did you go just from A to B? Like, did you come across any challenges on the way, or has it just been phenomenal from the get go?
I think there are challenges, aren't there, in any business, and people really like need to understand that, but need to understand that it's all part of the process and it's always worth it. So, any new business owners that are listening to this, and please just ride the waves, as highs as lows. The highs usually outweigh the lows, and just celebrate literally every single win. Like I said, I got started with this during a COVID pandemic, a travel business during COVID where people couldn't travel. Like, I don't think any business could have anything more challenging than that. But you've got to have a long-term vision, and you've got to have a really strong why as to why you're working a business and why you're creating and building a business. And just every single time you are presented with a challenge, just remember that why, and know that it's not always going to be like this, and you will ride those challenges and you will get to where you want to get to. So that was a massive challenge for me. I think something that I've come up against a lot as well is like lack of support and lack of vision from other people around me. So just because someone can't see themselves in your position, they can't see themselves having a successful business, and they don't share your vision, shouldn't knock you back, and it shouldn't stop you from going after what you want and what you desire and your goals and your dreams, because they'll never have what you have. If you continue to work through the challenges and work through the lack of support from family members, friends, etc., you will get to where you're going to get to. Just because they can't see it for themselves doesn't mean that it's not possible for you.
I
That's
think I think with that in mind, a lot of time when you're starting in business, whatever form of business that is, you have the imposter syndrome. So you're already feeling. Not everybody, maybe. I'm sure there's people that are really confident and just think, I'm going to nail this. I'm the best in the business, which is amazing to be like that. But then I think there'll be a large percentage that will have that imposter syndrome. And the minute you have, like you've just said, people doubting you or sort of not aligning with your vision, I think that can really sort of amplify that imposter, and then I think that's when it's your fight or flight response that kicks in. Then, like, where do you go with? Yeah, you just let them sort of weigh you down and tell you that it's a bad idea, so you don't move forward, or do you
yeah.
go with it and just think, do you know what? I know you, and you're not me, and you don't see where I'm going to go, so it's not right for you, but this could be right for me. And I think there's not maybe enough spoken about that. I feel like social media world, where obviously we sort of you celebrate the wins and that it's really good there, but it's that in between stage. That's where people, in my opinion, sort of that's where you get your dropouts, because they're not sort of empowered enough to continue. The ones that are always will, but then there's the ones that won't. But then you've got that little hybrid in the middle where they just had that little bit of a push, then they could be where you are now. And I think I just feel like that's maybe a little bit of a missed opportunity just in the world, really, where it's a shame that the opportunity's there, but then they talk themselves out of it because of what people, like you said, that they don't align with your vision, and that's a shame, really. In
It's
terms of, sorry, go on.
a massive shame. It makes me feel really sad, because anyone can have mass success through the opportunity that I've had mass success through. I just wish more people believed in themselves. And it could have so easily been me because of the lack of confidence. But I understood that I wanted to be successful because I wanted to create my dream life of freedom. And in order to do that, I had to work on my mindset every single day, and I had to personally develop every single day. And anyone, again, can do that if they choose to do that. And those people that did doubt me or doubt the business model, if I didn't want their life, if I didn't want their business, or I didn't want to trade bank accounts with them, then I chose not to listen to them. And that was every single person that
Absolutely.
expressed negative thoughts. I was like, no, thank you. That's not for me. I want the life that I want to create.
Absolutely. I think there should be no judge. Like, I think mindset is everything. Growth mindset is everything. Positivity is everything. However, I think that it's absolutely fine for those people, like you say, would you switch your bank account with them? No, you probably wouldn't. So are you going to be living the life they're living? No, you wouldn't. But if they want to do that, that is absolutely fine. But then don't stop you doing what you want to do. And if you want to sort of, you want to go that way, I just feel that you just have those people, don't you, in life, or you just think, you know what, just be quiet, leave me alone. Like, I'm going this way. Just you stay where you are. That's absolutely fine. I don't judge you, but I'm off, you know. But then once you've got there, then those the same people, then they've got other things to say about you, and you're just sort of in a cycle. And I think you just sort of have to really surround yourself with, you know, the people that align with you, because I think if you're in a room full of people that are better than you in terms of, and I don't mean in terms of financially better or more successful or more entrepreneurial, you naturally, in my opinion, are going to want to be more like them. You're going to be more aspirational. Whereas if you're around people that are already sort of trying to pull you down or just saying, oh, why are you doing that, Amy? Leave it. You know, you've got a really good job in the NHS. You know, you're selling these things, you're making good money. Why? Why do you want to make more? And you just think,
Exactly.
well, you know, just so stay in your lane in a way, but then don't stay in your lane if you want to go further. And I suppose like the next thing that I wanted to sort of ask you about was, in terms of becoming an entrepreneur, would you classify yourself as an entrepreneur now? Like, is that how you would
Well,
think
I
of yourself?
suppose so. I suppose I never think of myself as an entrepreneur, but yeah, I suppose that's I've left the typical journey, haven't I? That, you know, you go to school, you get the qualifications, you work really hard to get a really good job, you work your way up in a job, or you move companies to get a better job. And I suppose I've left that now. So yeah, here I
Yeah,
am, an entrepreneur.
there you are. You're a travel entrepreneur. But the reason I asked that question is because I wasn't sure what you would say to that, because even though you've almost got like a business in a box, for me, that's just me simplifying it. You've got been given
Yeah.
like a business in a box situation, but somebody else could be given that and not. And I'm pretty sure multiple people have been given the same opportunity, but they haven't made what you've made out of it, and continue to make out of it. So that, to me, I talk about entrepreneurial mindset often in my sort of LinkedIn posts, and then on my podcast, the other episodes that I've done. And I think an entrepreneur, I can't even say it anymore. Let's just start again. Entrepreneurial mindset, I think, is exactly what you've just kind of described all over, where you've seen an opportunity and you've said, you know what, I'm going to do it and I'm going to go for that. And I think that there's something special about that, because I don't feel it can be taught. You've got to have it in you. I think you have to just feel that and just think, you know what, I can do it, with the imposter syndrome in play, but just still have that vision. And I think that is entrepreneurial, and that's why I was just asking you the question whether you think you're an entrepreneur, because I do. I think you are. So yeah. So obviously you're welcome. Obviously you've mentioned about being sort of a six-figure earner, and which is absolutely fantastic. Well done. What does the future hold? So what are you when will it be enough, or have you got a level that you think, well, once I get to that, that's it, I'm going to stop and I'm going to, I don't know, go and live in an island on Bora Bora, who knows, or you know,
Yeah, I've got a plan.
yeah.
I've
uh,
got a plan.
yeah,
I think it's really important for anyone in business to have goals,
yeah,
and because you know what it's like, if you've not got goals, if you've not got a plan, how are you ever going to achieve anything? So I think when I got started with my business and however long ago it was, 4 years ago, I couldn't see six figures from the business. I couldn't see it at that time. I knew it was possible, but I couldn't see it. And then the harder I was working and the more success I was having, and I was using evidence around me. You know, you said about getting in the room and being with people that are where you want to be at and almost better than you in terms of they've got what you want. I got myself in the room and I saw evidence of this same business model giving people six figures, multiple six figures, and seven figures. And then I started to see six figures. Then I hit six figures, making over 100,000. That's when I left my 100,000 medical career. And I'm at this point, I can see seven figures, and it's mad that I can, I will be making 1 million a year from this business. I've got a goal of by the time I'm 40. I retired when I was 34. I want to be making 1 million a year from this business by the time I'm 40. Obviously, I'll then have surplus money to keep investing into other things. And at that point, I think I'll be like, okay, I've done enough here. I'm not saying I won't work the business at all because I love it. I'm really passionate about it, but that's my goal, seven figures by the time I'm 40.
And in terms of, you touched upon the investment side of things. I mean, first of all, I've got no doubt that you'll hit that goal because you can just tell you're going to hit that goal. But in terms of sort of having that surplus to invest, have you got like a strategy for that? Have you already got investments? And you don't have to disclose, the exact sort of investments you have, but like, is that
Yeah.
something that you're doing actively already? Is that something that you are wanting to do later? Is there something that you would feel strongly about sort of recommending in terms of investments? Obviously not financial advice, it's just a chat.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And yeah, I could never give anyone financial advice. It's not my forte. It's not something that I've
Yeah.
studied well at all. And for that reason, I pay a financial advisor. That he's
Hmm.
good. He and she are good at what they do, and therefore they are the best people to educate me, but also advise where I put my money. So I do invest off their guidance. I don't invest nowhere near as much as I would like to invest. Obviously, as my income grows from this, I'll be investing more and more and more. And look, the average millionaire has 7 streams of income, right? So it would be stupid
Absolutely.
for anyone to solely rely upon one income. It's like when you're working a traditional job, if that's your only income stream,
Yeah.
what happens if you have an accident and you can't work tomorrow, or you get made redundant next week? Like, it's so important to have multiple income streams. I feel really passionately about that. So I am investing currently, and that will continue to grow and get more diverse, I'm sure. And look, as I have more time, as my business is where I want it to be at, I then I will get more educated myself, and I'll read and I'll learn and I'll learn more about it, because I think it's really important to continue to learn as well. Like, if you stop learning, then you'll stop earning. That's what I
Yeah.
always think, I believe.
Absolutely. That your growth just stops, doesn't it? Then you just plateau because there's always something going on. There's always something new happening, and I think, there's a really good energy about that. I think if you are into learning, that you can just always feel like I'm trying to get the top of my game. Whatever that is. You mentioned sort of the time freedom, and I don't quite know what age you sort of switched over to the from 100k to 100k in travel. But then, if you don't mind me asking, were you in your late 20s or early 20s?
No, I was literally, I'm 34 now. I did it this summer. So I was
Oh,
34.
right, okay. So my next question is, again, congratulations. My next question is, what would you tell 20-year-old you?
Oh my goodness. Um, I mean, I am so grateful for everything that I did with my corporate career, and I'm so grateful. I believe that everything happens for a reason. You learn as you go along. You learn things in different times in your life. I just wish that in my early 20s, I'd worked. I wish that personal development was a thing that I understood, and I wish that I'd worked on my mindset to be confident during my 20s, like I am now in my 30s, because I think I spent a lot of time in my 20s worrying about what people thought of me, just basically speaking to myself terribly, like not loving myself. And I think I know that I held myself back from opportunities like this that were presented to me 10 years ago in my early 20s, because of lack of belief in my own abilities. I could do it. Of course I could do it, but I just didn't believe that I could do it. And I worried about what people would think of me. So yeah, I honestly, so the way that I travel has been changed for life. The way that I make money has been changed for life, thanks to my travel business. But the one thing that I'm most grateful for is the personal development journey that it's taken me on. And I wish I'd done that 14 years ago.
And if there was somebody in their 20s now listening to this, what could you recommend? And you don't have to, it's just on the spot question. Could you recommend any
Yeah.
tools in terms of books or podcasts or webinars that you've seen in your career journey where you think, do you know what, that was really great? Like, I really think, if I had that when I was 20, I'd be doing what I do now 10 years ago or whatever.
Yeah. Well, like
Across
podcasts
anything.
like this, podcasts are free
Yeah.
nowadays. I absolutely love Noor Hibbert. She's a manifesting mindset coach, and she's got a podcast that I listen to. She's hilarious. She's great fun. Noor Hibbert. It's called the Just Effing Do It podcast or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
She's fabulous. I love the book Manifest and Manifest Deeper, which is the second book by Roxie Nafousi. Manifestation is not a load of woo-woo. Like, manifestation is a real thing. And again, I wish I had belief in my early 20s. But I just think, go onto your podcast app on your phone, go onto Spotify, go onto Apple Music, whatever it is that you've got access to, and type in keywords, whether it's positive mindset, the mindset mentor, he's a great guy, that's really helped me. Type in keywords on something that you want to brainwash your mind with, and brainwash your mind for success. Don't listen to the news. The news is negative.
yeah.
Brainwash your mind with positivity to feel better about yourself, to feel better about your day, to not be in an anxious state, and to be able to be successful.
It's just reframing your thinking, isn't it? Just to be reframing it to be, like you say, successful. You
Yeah.
touched on manifesting, and in terms of manifesting your life, how do you feel about vision boards? Do you have a vision board? Have you had a vision board? Or
Yeah.
do you manifest in a different way? What do
Yeah,
you
I've
do?
got a vision board and I'm constantly updating it as I tick things off it. And it's really rewarding, like ticking things off it. I really believe that you have to be able to see something in
Yeah,
order to be able to achieve it. Or again, you're just really lucky. And you need to visualize those things as you're putting them on your vision board. And every single day when you look at your vision board, because I know people have got different opinions on this, I like to see it. I know Roxie Nafousi actually says put it away for a year, do it on New Year's Eve or whatever, and put it away for a year. I like to see it. I like to visualize it every single day and attach emotion to that vision, and then I'll get excited, or I'll get like, or I'll feel like in a real relaxed state because I've hit that income target, which means that I can relax a little bit or whatever. And by attaching emotion to what I'm seeing on my vision board daily, I believe that's the power of it, in my opinion.
yeah.
What about you?
And I think it's so many people, successful people, talk about vision boards, and even if like you say, the Nafousi, she's saying do it, put it away, recheck. But I think there's so much power in seeing it every single day. When it's first thing you see when you wake up, what's last thing you see at night, or like I have it on my phone, so it's there all the time, so you can sort of see sort of things, because it's almost subconscious, isn't it? That it's just sort of training your mind to sort of, if you see it, believe it, achieve it. So it was
Yeah.
just interesting to know whether you use one, because there's so many different people that I speak to, and I say, "Do you have a vision board?" Some people are like, "No, I don't have a vision board. I just do it." Whereas
Yeah.
others, more often than not, will have a vision board, and I think it's so powerful to be able to see where you want to go, because once you've got there, you take it all off and then put the next level up, and you level up and carry on doing so until you reach that level of where you feel content, I suppose. And
Yeah.
I suppose just to sort of wrap it up, and for today, if you were to give one actionable tip to the listeners, if they were either entrepreneurs on the fence thinking, should I go into entrepreneurship, or women in business that have only been in business recently, or even for women in business that have been doing it for years, because obviously the podcast covers the whole spectrum of people that want to know about women, money, business. What tip would you give to to any of those people?
I just think if you know that you want more and you see your life looking different in 5 years, 10 years' time, then don't dull that down. Go for it. Know that you can absolutely achieve it, but put a plan in place, set your goals, work on your mindset, get the right people in place that you need around you, like support system, but also the right people in terms of that are evidence of having already achieved what you want to achieve, and get knowledgeable, learn everything there is to learn about the industry, about the product, about the business, and go and make it happen, because you absolutely have the ability to. It's inside of you. You just have to go and work for it. And then in 5-10 years time, whenever your goal was, like, you can be living your dream life. You can have more if you wanted more.
Mhm. Thank you. That's really helpful. So, if people that are listening to this podcast and they think, "Do you know what, I think that the travel business could be something that I want to do. I want to know more about. I want to sort of dip my toe in it, and I want to sort of create the life that maybe they see that life that you have sort of told us about and you have." And how would somebody go about doing that?
So they can catch me on social media. Instagram is definitely my most used platform.
Yep,
My Instagram handle is its Amy Beckett.
yep.
And I can provide them with more information as to how they can learn more about this. But like I said earlier on, anyone can do this flexibly alongside all kinds of commitments. You can have time, location, and financial freedom all together from this business model. You don't have to have any experience in travel. You don't have to have any qualifications or experience in like using systems or anything like that. So if they reach out to me, I can send them a video which will explain more, and I can have a chat with them and answer any questions that they've got. And they know that, like you said, it's a business in a box, and they're supported every step of the way. I did not have a business mind. I wasn't an entrepreneur, but everything was there for me to live an extraordinary life. And I genuinely feel like I'm living that life now.
That's really empowering to hear, and you can tell from the smile on your face like how happy you are with life. And I think it's so endearing to see that, because there's a lot of doom and gloom around in the world and things, and it's just so nice to hear that somebody has been successful and is living the life of their dreams, and it was an opportunity that was presented to them that they didn't realize maybe that would take them where you are now. And I think it's so crucial with you saying that you never had any business experience, because I think, in my opinion, there's so many entrepreneurs, myself included, out there where I don't have a business degree. You know, I'm an optician, but I have sort of three businesses. Like with yourself, you're selling medical equipment. Does it mean that you can then run a business? But then if you want it, you learn it, and the best way I think to run a business is to just do it, you know, and just do it, just start it, and you sort of the rest will just fall into place. You'll make mistakes, you learn along the way, but then if you've got a proven model like yourself, it's what you make of it, isn't it?
Yeah. And you enjoy the process. Like, although there's been challenges, I've enjoyed every single day of this business. It's lovely. Like-minded individuals in an incredible supportive community, get to travel all the time. What is there not to love?
Exactly. Tick tick tick. Perfect. So
Thank you.
thank you so much for your time today, Amy. I will link everything in the description to find Amy on Instagram, and obviously we'll be sharing everything on socials for you as well.